Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one, the only, the Raging Pit for the first time tonight. The music is okay. We're gonna have to have a talk, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Number Gepard. How old are you? Just give me ballpark. Like teens, 20s, 30s, what decade of age are you? Just out of curiosity. I need to know. It's going to determine. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a pass here. See, us 80s and 90s kids, we had the privilege to grow up with technology. Like when we were first learning to count, computers were first learning to count. When we were first learning to draw, computers were first learning to draw. When we first started learning how to make movies, computers were first starting to make movies. Like we grew up at the same time. And way back in the 90s, you had two options for games. You had Sega Genesis and you had Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Those were it. And here's the thing. The way games were constructed back then, there weren't save states. There were some save files, but basically, you just played by world. And some games were really difficult if you were young and you didn't have like the ability to compartmentalize large fractions of the map in your brain. And so like for Sonic, if you didn't get past the first world, you couldn't save halfway through. When you turned off the game and turned it on again, you'd have to start from the beginning of World 1 again. And so the music is just pounded into your brain for hours and hours and hours, day after day after day. And you go from like, this is fucking awesome music. This is a digital video game playing music. How are they doing that? It was mind-blowing at the time. And then after like an hour, you're like, oh my god, it's still the same song. But after like weeks and weeks and hours, you'd get to a point where you're just like, this is my fucking jam, man. And then you get to like a point where you're like timing your moves to the music because you've gotten so good at speed running the first half of the first world that you know exactly when to press each button. And it's just, man. Okay. It's great fucking music. And just because you're too young to appreciate doesn't make it any less great. That's all I have to say. Sorry I had to get tough with you there for a minute, but just had to iron that out real fast.